I want to tell you about a paradox that doesn't make sense, at least not from the outside. There are people who have money, real money, stable income, savings, investments, the kind of financial position that, on paper, should feel like safety. And yet, they still feel poor, not temporarily, not situationally, but psychologically. They check their bank account and feel tension. They spend money and feel guilt. They think about the future and feel fear, even when there is enough. From the outside, this looks irrational, but psychologically, it's not. Because the feeling of being rich has very little to do with how much money you have, and almost everything to do with what your brain learned money means. For some people, money is not just a resource. It's protection. It's control. It's proof that things won't fall apart. And that belief rarely starts in adulthood. It starts much earlier. In homes where money was unstable, where bills were stressful, where adults argued about finances, or where there was a constant sense that things could collapse at any moment. Children don't just notice that, they internalize it. They learn something quietly, but powerfully. Security is fragile. Money can disappear. You are only safe when you have more than enough. That belief doesn't stay in childhood. It becomes a lens. So even when those children grow up, build careers, earn well, save consistently, their nervous system doesn't update because psychologically, they are not reacting to their current reality. They are reacting to a past one. This is what researchers often refer to as a scarcity mindset, not a lack of money, but a persistent expectation of loss. And once that expectation is wired into your thinking, something interesting happens. Enough stops existing. There is always another threshold, another number, another just in case. If I reach this amount, I'll feel safe. If I save a little more, I'll relax. If I earn more, I'll finally feel secure. But when they reach that point, the feeling doesn't come. Because the goal was never the number, the goal was the feeling. And the feeling was never tied to the number in the first place. So the mind moves the target again, and again, and again. There's also another layer to this. Control. For people who feel internally unstable, money becomes a way to create external stability. Budgets become strict. Spending becomes calculated. Risk becomes something to avoid at all costs, not because it's logical, but because uncertainty feels dangerous. Even small financial decisions can feel loaded. Buying something unnecessary, that's not just spending, that's risk. Investing in something new, that's not just opportunity, that's potential loss. And loss, to someone with this psychology, feels bigger than gain. So they hold on tighter, they plan more, they hesitate longer. From the outside, it can look like discipline. From the inside, it often feels like tension. And then there's comparison. Even wealthy people don't compare themselves to average. They compare themselves upward. There is always someone earning more, saving more, living bigger. So no matter how much they have, they still feel behind. Not because they are, but because their reference point keeps shifting. And over time, this creates a quiet emotional state. I'm not there yet, even if there was never clearly defined. This is why some people can have financial success and still feel like they're one step away from losing everything, because psychologically, they never left survival mode. But here's the part that changes things. Feeling rich is not a financial milestone, it's a psychological one. It's the moment your mind updates its definition of safety. It's the ability to recognize what is already stable instead of constantly preparing for collapse. And that doesn't happen automatically with more money. It happens when someone begins to question the pattern, when they notice the fear, the tension, the constant not enough, and ask a different question. Is this about my reality? Or is this about what I learned to expect? Because for many people, the answer is uncomfortable. They are not reacting to their bank account. They are reacting to a memory. And once you see that, something shifts. You don't have to stop being responsible. You don't have to ignore risk. You don't have to pretend money doesn't matter. But you can begin to separate what is real from what is remembered. And in that space, there's a different kind of wealth. Not just having more, but finally feeling like what you have is enough.